What
What
else
else
we
we got
got
for this week?
this week, guys? Anything? Are we?
I
is
got
that
I
it?
got a
Did we
couple
do
more
it?
things.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
I had a lot of people send this to me, and
Uh-oh.
it is kind of interesting. So, some researchers were able to take a common brick
Oh
and
yeah.
turn it into a battery.
Speaking of batteries,
Speaking of
Yeah.
batteries,
what
actually,
the
you know
heck?
what? To be more clear, it's actually not a battery; it's a supercapacitor.
Oh.
But so
what is the difference, by the way? I'm not sure I've ever understood.
So the capacitors, I'm not the expert, but I'll do my best. Basically, like it can hold a lot of energy and it can discharge it really fast, but it can't. The density isn't quite there. Like that's
Right.
kind of why I think Tesla never really wanted to go that way. But that's why like the graphene supercapacitors, a lot of people have talked about that, are ultra capacitors. They can. It's more like a shock kind of thing. Like it just kind of like just discharges a lot of energy at once.
And
kind
it
of thing.
charges almost instantly too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can. Yeah, like if your phone was powered by a capacitor, you could like charge the whole thing in like 10 seconds or something.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's true, but I said it. So, it says a team of researchers at Washington University in St. Louis have figured out a way to turn, according to futurism, regular old bricks into batteries.
I don't get it.
So it sounds like what they did was they literally took a regular brick and they saturated it with conducting nanofibers that can store a charge. And then so like you could basically have solar panels on your house and have it kind of be wired into these bricks on the outside of your house, and it could hold the charge and then power the house through the bricks.
What?
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How far from like this actually being a thing is it? You know, it's one of those like we
Well,
figured out how to do
yeah.
this. Is it like maybe an actually a thing?
I mean, it sounds like they've got a ways to go because like this, you can see in the picture right here, first of all, that looks like a Butterfinger to me. That's all I can see is a Butterfinger. But it looks like they got maybe like 5 or 6 strapped together right there, and it's powering an LED light. So it doesn't have a whole lot of energy storage. But if they were all connected and you had your entire house built with this, it would probably be able to hold a significant amount.
What if aliens come down and they see a whole like this on a street made with all brick things? Like, oh, nice battery.
They live in batteries.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess yeah.
so weird.
If this is safe and easy to cheap, easy to produce, and even if it can't store that much, just being like bonus electricity storage, like that's huge.
If it's cheap, yeah.
And
I mean, the idea is if you can make it as inexpensive as a regular brick. But
Without being, like, a
according to
huge
this
fire
article,
hazard.
and I actually have the one that's actually from the university, Washington University, but yeah, apparently they literally went to Home Depot and bought bricks for 65 cents and were able to do the thing with those and turn
Should
it
have
into a
sent them
battery.
some of the Boring Company bricks.
yeah. Wouldn't that be cool though?
Well, maybe. And there's something about the coating on it. It says the red pigment is essential for triggering the polymerization reaction, and they suggest walls made of these energy-storing bricks could store a substantial amount of energy.
Imagine if your fireplace with the heat could charge it, right?
Yeah.
Because if you can
Mhm.
capture heat, that can be turned into energy.
Yeah.
That would be nuts. Imagine you're like, yeah, I'm just going to go,
Yeah.
turn on the fire and charge my house.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
so this says
Well.
a brick wall serving as a supercapacitor can be recharged hundreds of thousands of times within an hour.
Oh, right.
Wow.
So, yeah, I guess that's another thing is you wouldn't have like degradation. It would just keep
So
doing
what's
its
the,
thing.
do they talk about this like commercial, like does someone come just spray something on your brick house and bam, now it's a giant battery? Or do you
No,
have to
it
like, you know what, let's
sounds-
just rebuild a new house with these
Yeah.
electric bricks?
It sounds like it would be for new construction, not for already
Got
existing
it.
construction.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's still, I love promising or potentially promising technology like that. Just like, I think that makes total sense. Build a house or a place with batteries, basically, as long as they're
Like
safe.
the
Yeah.
and-
construction is, yeah.
Yep.
Well, and there's also they've talked about windows, like clear windows that can collect solar energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that might be for more like a skyscraper or something like that. But
Right.
I mean, imagine if you had a house with solar panel, with solar roof, solar windows,
Mm-hmm.
battery bricks.
Yeah.
And you could
Yeah.
probably also just, incorporate passive heating and cooling into those bricks and the structure of the house to minimize, as much as possible.
That'd be awesome.
I like that kind of stuff, actually, probably more than anything, because you see these stories of people that are building out in the desert, and maybe sometimes they're taking old, like ancient construction methods from the Middle East and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But just by constructing it a certain way and maybe putting like layers of bricks on the outside or a lattice work to kind of filter the heat out with a white texture that reflects a lot of the light and whatnot, like just doing that with no air conditioning whatsoever, you can live in the middle of the desert and be perfectly, cooled with
Throw
pass
some hydro
through
panels up
wind and stuff.
pull the humidity
yeah,
out of the water or out of
exactly.
there.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a roof that has rocks on it? Like it's like an old
Like
thing
a regular house, or
yeah, just almost like a flat roof, and it looks like someone literally just like took random rocks and just like threw them everywhere.
Not rocks, but I've seen green roofs though quite a bit.
All right, I have to show you guys this.
This is called a rock roof. Roof rock.
No,
rough
So-
rook.
maybe I think it's like a Palm
Wait, I
Springs
said
kind of
rough
thing.
rook.
Rough roof.
I said rough rook.
This is a rock
rook.
rook.
Okay. Here you go. So it's like a mid-century thing you'd see in like the 60s. You see this here?
Yeah.
This is just like
Oh.
just like a bunch of white like rocks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't.
That
Doesn't quite ring a bell, but it kind of does. I don't know.
Means the
Yeah.
idea that it reflects light and keeps the heat off.
it is because back when these houses were constructed, the air conditioning wasn't a thing that you got.
Sure. Yeah.
And if you lived in say Palm Springs, well, you kind of needed a way to reflect. So these rocks, something about just like the shape of a rock and the color, turns out to save you like 15 or 20 degrees of the internal.
Sure, of course.
Here you go. Here's like a.
And there's probably a little bit of insulation involved too, if there's layers of it.
Yeah. But you drive around and you see these and you're like, what the hell is that? Someone just like
Right? I don't
Some, like,
think I
just,
would
like,
have.
dump
Yeah, but you
some
see that
rocks.
sort of lattice brickwork on the front of that as well.
The breeze
That's the same idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
breeze block, it's called. Yeah.
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 Huh.
My wife's
Come to
just
find
saying
out,
I-
we've been doing this forever, and we're just now realizing it's cool again.
I've
Wait.
never understood why we have dark roofs, especially like here in Texas. Like, why wouldn't it be white? Why wouldn't you
isn't
want to
it-
reflect?
Isn't it
out the
illegal
light?
now in Southern California or somewhere to have a black roof? It has to be a different color.
No,
I
definitely
swear I
not.
saw that somewhere there, some county or something is making it illegal for new construction to use black for their roof for that exact reason. That it's just like you're literally just capturing
It just
too much
makes
thermal
it's
energy.
never made any sense to me. It's like, why of all the colors do we pick black?
Well, it depends
That's going
where
to
you're
absorb as much heat as possible.
Right.
It depends where you're at, right? Like maybe parts of the
But,
world that are
that's what I'm
colder.
saying.
Well,
Here
yeah.
in Texas, all the roofs are black
Yep.
or
Yeah.
dark.
Yep.
I'm looking
Yeah.
out my neighbor's window.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you,
Asphalt
Joe.
roofs.
Yeah. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this clip from our show. If that's just not enough for you and you want to watch the full episode, you can go to olfpod.com/YT.
And if you want more from us, you can consider becoming a Patreon member. You'll get early access to episodes. You can join our awesome community. You can actually watch us record live and get your name in the credits by going to olfpod.com/Patreon.
So thanks everyone for watching. Check back every Friday for new clips here and new episodes on the main channel.
Thanks, everybody.